us move on to the grade 11 English, poem 2, Confessions of a Born Spectator, written by Ogden Nash, presented by Beanie Love. Take your textbook, page number 53, Confessions of a Born Spectator by Ogden Nash. Let us move on to about the author in page number 54. Take a textbook, page number 54, about the author. The poet Frederick Ogden Nash was born on August 19, 1902 and died May 19, 1971. Was an American poet well known for his light verse, of which he wrote over 500 pieces. With his unconventional rhyming schemes, he was declared the country's best known producer of humorous poetry. His light verse even earned him a place on a postage stamp. Okay, let us see about him. Frederick Ogden Nash was an American humorist who lived from 1902 to 1971. He was born in 1902 in Rye, New York, where he grew up with his well-educated parents. His parents' names were Edmund Strudwick Nash and May T. Nash. During his childhood years, Nash was educated at several private schools. At these schools, he enjoyed writing his own comical and dramatic free verse poems, etc. After graduating out of grammar school, Nash moved on to one of the best private schools in the East, that is St. George in Newport. After that, moving on his life, he enrolled at Harvard at the age of 18, that is from 1920 onwards. Okay. Did you notice that in the second line you have seen he was a well known for his light verse. So light verse, what is meant by light verse? Let me explain. Verse means it is a poetry which is arranged in a regular pattern is called poetry, and this verse it is divided into three, that is a blank verse, free verse and light verse. What is meant by blank verse is that is the writing which has a particular rhythm and no rhymes. Okay, that is called blank verse. And free verse means there is no rhythm and no rhyme. That is called free verse. And light verse is like a playful themes or to entertain, it will be there. That is called light verse. So here this point he has written or he has choose that light verse to his writings. So in that light verse he was very famous and he wrote over 500 pieces. Okay, so that is about him. And then because of his rhyming schemes, he was declared as the country's best known producer of humorous poetry, and his light was everything. Because of that, he earned a place in the postage stamp. So in USA postage stamp, his picture was published. So about the author we have seen. So now let us move on to the poem, The Confessions of a Born Spectator. Take page number 53. In the heading is Confessions of a Born Spectator. What do you mean by confessions? Confessions means accepting oneself from the heart or telling from the heart. We are accepting that it is okay, it is correct, like that we are accepting. Okay, what is meant by spectator? Spectator means your audience who is watching the event or watching the sports or watching the program is called spectator. Okay, so now here this poem, Ogden Nash as a spectator, he has written this poem. Okay, let us move to the warm up. Not everybody loves to play and participate in games, sports, and other extracurricular activities. Some of us wish to be mere spectators. List out the activities in which you like to be either a performer or a spectator. Share your views with the class. Activities: performer or player is given in one column. Spectator or audience is given in another column. So for example, they have given cricket. So some persons likes to perform or be a player in a cricket, and some person like to watch magic. That is a magician, what they are doing, they like to watch. Okay, so the example is given performer cricket and audience magician. Okay, so you can write your own choice which games or sports you like to participate, you can write in the first column, and the second column you can write which one you like to watch, being an audience you like to be. So you can write in the second column. For example, first one, A, football, you like to be a player, and hockey you like to watch. The second column you can write hockey. B, volleyball, other column kabaddi. C, movie, the next one chess. D, music concert, the next one dance. E, karate, other column singing. So it is not compulsory to write the same answer, you can write your own answer. Okay, let us move on to the poem. Here is a poem by Ogden Nash, who believes that a spectator can be as enthusiastic as a player. Now let us read and enjoy the poem Confessions of a Born Spectator. So the heading, what it is says, confessions means it is one person is going to tell the truth or confess himself. Okay, about what? Being a spectator, as he is a audience, he likes to say from the audience side what are the things he feels. Okay, so now let me go for the poem. One infant grows up and becomes a jockey, another plays basketball or hockey. This one the prize ring hates to enter, that one becomes a tackle or center. I am just glad as glad can be that I am not them, that they are not me. In this poem, first paragraph, the poet, he himself admires the infants who will grow up to become sports person or athletes. So, one child may become a jockey. Jockey means here it is says about horse rider. So, another child might become a basketball or hockey player, and one more child might not take up boxing. It is not telling that he will be choosing, it is saying in the negative way, might not, they may hate to enter or they don't like to go inside the prize ring. Prize ring means here it refers boxing. So this one, the prize ring hates to enter means it is telling that the child might not take up boxing, and another child will become a football player also. So tackle means they can approach, that is at the center means they are ready to have the other games what they like to be. And though the poet admires the players, he is very happy. For glad means very happy. For what means that he is not one of them. He is not one of the player, one of the participant. He is just an audience. So he is very glad about that. Here that line, I am just glad as glad can be. So here you might have verified that what is the figure of speech? As is given. So you can identify easily it is a simile. So you can write near to that you can write simile. Okay. So what is the figure of speech or rhyming scheme in the first paragraph? What is the last word? Jockey. So you can write A near to that. And the next word ending with hockey. Jockey and hockey is the same sounds, same rhyming words. So what we can write? A. So the rhyming scheme is A. And next one, enter is another one new rhyming word. So what we have to write? B. And the next one is center. So B. So first paragraph, the rhyming scheme is A, B. Okay. So note down that rhyming scheme and figure of speech, whatever you face in the paragraph. Okay. So let us move on to the next paragraph. With all my heart, I do admire athletes who sweat for fun or hire, who take the field in gaudy pomp and maim each other as they roam. My limp and baseful spirit feeds on other people's heroic deeds. With all my heart, I do admire. Admire means here praising or appreciation. Okay, so athletes who sweat for fun. Sweat means working hard. For what? Time pass. Fun means time pass or hire. Hire means rent for short period. Okay, so now the poet's hearts, what it is doing, it's admiring the athletes who sweat for the enthusiasm of the spectators or the money paid to them. Okay, the poet, what he's doing, he's noticing that they come to the playing field with the showy dresses and end up enduring with each other as they play the game with high spirits. So this is happening in the ground. So who take the field in gaudy pomp? Gaudy means bright, or pomp means showy dresses. Okay, so two bright showy dresses they are wearing, and they are it is ending up with injury. Okay, so with what? May means hurt or getting injury each other as they romp means playing in a very rough way or a noisy way. Okay, my limp and bashful. Limp means weak, and bashful means very shy. Spirit feeds on the other people's heroic deeds. So it gains, the poet mentions that as his spirit is very weak and shy, it gains strength when it watches the players' heroic or daring actions. Okay. Next answer. Now, A runs 90 yards to score. B knocks the champion to the floor. Cracking vertebrae and spines, lashes his steed across the line. You would think my ego it would please to swap positions with one of these. In this stanza, the poet wants to say, compare with the two person A and B. Okay, so now A, that is a person, runs for 90 yards to score good points for himself. And another person B, what he is doing, he knocks the winner to the floor, breaking his vertebrae and bones. So here, that is the vertebrae means backbone, and spines. These all the things he is cracking or breaking, and he is coming to become a champion. Okay, so this two also what they are doing, they are defeating the others for their win. Okay, lashes his steed across the line. Lashes means that is like a stick which is which beats the horse. Okay, he beats his large strong horse across the line. So when the horse is going across the line, steed means the large strong horse. Okay, so when it is crossing the line, what he is doing, the person is beating with the stick. Though the poet derives satisfaction admiring the talents of the athletes, he does not wish to exchange places with him. So these all the things the writer is able to admire, but he doesn't want to exchange his places with them. Swap means exchange. He is not liking to exchange. His ego is not pleasing to exchange for these places. The next stanza. Well, ego it might be pleased enough, but zealous athletes play so rough. They do not ever, in their dealings, consider one another's feelings. I am glad that when my struggle begins, twixt prudence and ego, prudence wins. In this, well, ego it might be pleased enough, but zealous athletes play so rough. Zealous means very enthusiastic players. So here, the poet's ego is pleased to become an athlete or a player, but then the poet observes how enthusiastic players play so rough, hurting each other. So how they are playing, hurting each other is the thing he could see. And while playing, the players do not consider each other's feelings. They are very interested in their games, so they never consider about others' feelings. So that is the dealings. Dealings means business activities. They have dealt with that business activities. Okay, so with that, what they are doing, they have never considered others' feelings. So the poet is glad that his struggle begins between wisdom and ego. At last, what is happening? Wisdom wins over his ego. So, struggle means it is whatever the efforts they are putting, everything is changed. Twixt means it is a changing, and prudence. Prudence means wisdom. So, here prudence only is winning or wins over his ego. Next answer. When swollen eye meets gnarled fist, when snaps the knee and cracks the wrist, when officialdom demands, is there a doctor in the stands? My soul in true thanksgiving speaks for this modest of physiques. Physiques means body. Okay, the explanation. So when the poet notices that one player has a swollen eye who has taken a blow from another player's rough fist. So another player whose knees also breaks and his wrist also breaks. So that crackers sounds, cracks the wrist. So cracks the wrist means the sounds of the crackers. Okay. So now what snaps means it is a breaks. Gnarled means rough. Swollen means bulged one. So when the person's is getting hurted, it's bulged, eyes are bulged because of the rough fist. Rough fist means they have given a rough beating or rough pusher. Okay, so with that, when official dom demands, official doms means when they are telling to this to the officials ask for a help, the poet questions if the doctor is nearby to the player. Okay, so for because of seeing this all the things, his soul is truly thanksgiving. For what reason? For the modest of his physics, modest of his body. So very humble body he is having. At the point, the poet's soul truly offers thanksgiving to the player's body. The last stanza. At length, I will drink to you or eat with you or anything except compete with you. Buy tickets worth their radium to watch you gamble in the stadium and reassure myself anew that you are not me and I am not you. So the poet concludes with the last paragraph. The explanation for this is the poet conveys a message to the players. That is, he is ready to drink to you. That is, he will drink with them or eat with them, and but he will not compete with them. He is not ready to challenge with them. Compete means challenge. He is not ready to challenge with them. So the poet would buy tickets by offering radium. Radium means night glowing. Glowing things. Okay, so radium you have seen, no? That one, radium, and to watch the players jump and run happily. So what he is ready, gamble means he is ready to jump and run happily to the stadium for watching all these things, and in reassure, last he is again and again he is assuring that what is that, in the end the poet comforts himself that he is not an athlete or a player. So the poet conclude that he comfort himself that he is only a spectator and is not an athlete. Read the poem once again and clear your doubts. Okay, now let us move on to the glossary. Read the glossary. First one, jockey, horse rider. Prize ring, enclosed area in which boxing matches are fought. Tackle, approach. Gaudy pomp, showy dress. Maim, injure. Romp, play in a rough and noisy way. Limp, weak. Bashful, shy and reluctant. Lashes, beats with a whip. Steed, a large, strong horse. Swap, exchange. Zealous, enthusiastic. Prudence, wisdom. Gnarled, rough and twisted. Physics, body. Drink to you, drink to wish good luck or celebrate success. Gamble, run or jump happily. Okay, thank you students. Hope you have understood this poem. The remaining book back exercise we will do it in the next class. Okay, thank you for watching. Thank you students.